Hi student, good morning. So today we are going to learn about chapter 8 element and substance and a bit of recap. What do we understand? Because as we mentioned previously, atom, molecule and ion is very important in this chapter because if we fail to understand the difference, then we cannot do this chapter, okay, because you just more and more things that you won't understand because the statement just say atom, molecule. So what is the difference? It's very important we understand the definition of the word, like in question and other thing. We need to really understand the meaning regardless of whether it's science, BM or English. You need to understand the definition. Okay, but the understanding definition in science is not memorizing the word, because if you memorize this, it does not mean you understand this chapter. If you memorize this, then but you don't understand what is it, then no point in, I mean, it's still good because you memorize. First thing is to memorize, second thing is to understand. So now let us try to understand what is atom, molecule and ion. Let's start with the most easiest one. You can go to YouTube and learn this if you want. Atom is the smallest particle element. For example, this is the element. If I can zoom in something like this break, I zoom in and zoom in and zoom in like the video, you can see very small of one dot. So this is an atom. Of course, in the atom there is proton, electron and neutron. So of course proton, electron and neutron is even smaller, but here already say the smallest particle, so don't confuse. I thought atom is the smallest. No, yes, atom is the smallest particle of an element, but proton, electron, neutron is even smaller than the atom. So basically we know what is an atom. Of course, you might be confused, like smallest particle, can I say proton, electron and neutron particle? Let me think. I think in some sense you can say it, in some sense, but there is no need to say it. There is no need to say it because when we usually use proton for proton, neutron for neutron, electron for electron. Let's say electron transfer, we just say electron transfer. There's no need to say electron particle transfer, but you can say that if you want, but you say electron transfer, but you don't say this particle transfer to that particle, because when you say this particle, it makes people confused because particle can mean a lot of things. It can mean particle means something round and very small, so it makes people confused. So in order not to make people confused, usually the question or people will just say the electron transfer. Okay, so yeah, this is atom, the smallest thing in a thing that we can see, the atom. Molecule consists of two or more atoms. For example, CO2. So if I draw CO2, so CO2 is a molecule, H2O is a molecule. If I draw H2O, so the question I want to ask is molecule is also atom? Yes, molecule is an atom. But here got 3 atoms, I can see. Here got 4 atoms. Each H2, then hydrogen gas, it will be just 2, or oxygen gas O2, there will be just 2 atoms. So here got 3 atoms, 2 atoms. So molecule is atom, but molecule is more special a bit. It's a combination of atom, because when we refer to atom is like a general meaning. Like atom, we say is a human being, but molecule we means is let's say we say a student. So yes, student is a human being, but human being is not student. So I cannot say molecule is made out of atom, but I cannot say atom is made out of molecule. It's just like atom is human, molecule is student. I can say the student is human, but I cannot say the human is the student. So that is the meaning of molecule, where there are two. So I think it's easier to remember example. If you cannot remember, just remember example like molecule oxygen, molecule hydrogen. When we say molecule oxygen, usually we are referring to O2 molecule, because molecule means combined, so it must be O2. So it must be O2. But when I say oxygen atom, it usually mean one atom, because you say atom, so atom is one usually. So we want to say, do we breathe in oxygen molecule, or do we want to say, do we breathe in oxygen atom? Both is correct, but the better word is molecule, oxygen molecule. That will be the better definition. It gives a clearer meaning to the person that we communicate. Ion, for example, ion is a charge. So I think maybe we remember more example to make it easy. Ion, for example, like NaCl. NaCl is a salt, where Na is plus, Cl is negative. So NaCl, sodium chloride, is equivalent to salt. Some more what? For many things, okay? For example, magnesium oxide, for example. Okay, so magnesium is 2 plus, 2 negative, for example. So this is the combination of sodium and chloride. Later we are going to draw, I see down here got or not, of sodium, hydrogen. Let's see here got ion or not. Okay, so we can see here there's an example, and here we got chlorine become chlorine ion. We got magnesium, then we can see there is a 2 plus. So let's say if I draw oxygen or magnesium chloride, can I say magnesium chloride? Okay, for example, I want to draw magnesium chloride. So magnesium is 2 plus, chloride is negative ion. So you be say magnesium chloride. So MgCl2. For example, this is an ion. That's why we combine magnesium chloride. Why not magnesium hydrogen, or why not magnesium potassium combined? But why must magnesium oxide? Because we know that usually magnesium is 2 plus, chloride is negative 1, so you need to add another 2 to make them balance. So that's why magnesium chloride and magnesium oxide, for example, is 1 positive, 1 negative usually, if you want to make it ionic bond. For example, like H2O, if you look at the periodic table, the H is the positive 1, oxygen is negative 2. So that is why H2 0, just to make it balance. 2 times 1 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2. So 2 positive, 2 negative. So they are balanced, they are formed, but it's very difficult to get magnesium hydrogen. For example, is magnesium hydrogen 2. This is more difficult to get. Maybe can, but it's more difficult. It's not an ionic bond. Okay, where was I? So I hope that you can understand what is atom, molecule, and ion. Moving on. Okay, so this one already watched the video. If the thing very small, then it will be the atom, helium, this oxygen molecule. Compress it into the liquid, then the person can breathe. Common salt, sodium chloride, NaCl. MSG, just in case for you to know, MSG is 鎂锌. So it is found in the food like Maggi mee, monosodium glutamate. So you can find in your Maggi mee a lot of 鎂锌, the Ajinomoto. So of course Ajinomoto also is made up from salt. Existing various, so there are many things in the element. So this is the whole world, we only have this one only. Okay, we already watched this video. To those that haven't seen this video, I hope that you can see this video, so that maybe I put in the link so that you guys can know what is a periodic table. Okay, from one you already learned this periodic table. Okay, let's do some exercise. Give 3 types of particles that make up a substance. 3 types of particle, which make people confused again, because when we say 3 types of particle, I think maybe they are usually referred to atom. But particle means something wrong, like the dust also you can say particle. Wow, the air is very dirty. There are a lot of particles in the air. So we are talking about the air and we are not talking about the atom. So that is why when they use, sometimes this word is confusing, but we just need to try our best to understand. Give 3 types of particles that make up a substance. Sugar, no, sugar is, yeah, actually this question is confusing. So the answer is atom, molecule, and ion. Okay, 3 types of particle. At first I thought it's oxygen, hydrogen, carbon. I just simply say 3 types of atom, but the answer is atom, molecule, and ion. Sometimes even I get it wrong, but it's alright. Now we know, we learn from mistake. If you get it correct in your heart, congratulations to those that get those correct. State an example of substance is made up of ion to form ion. Example of substance that is made up of iron. Iron is Fe. Iron. Example of substance. So we can say maybe iron oxide. So example of substance we say is rust. Why they ask this question? I feel that the way they ask the question is not good, because it's confusing, because the answer is rust. Example of substance that is made up of ion. So I would say, because substance is very subjective word. Substance we can say is a iron oxide, we can say it's a rust, we can say it's a metal. So when we use this word substance, it can mean many things. Anyway, the answer is rust, so I just write. This is the person that I think that asked the question not that good. State an example of substance. Probably I want to say iron oxide also, but I will get it wrong, because the answer is rust. But rust is iron oxide. Oxygen go into the metal, so it become iron oxide 3. So that's why it got more oxygen than it will rust. That's why we need to paint the metal so that it won't, oxygen cannot go in, it won't, or you put the metal in the oil, or you put some oil, so oxygen won't go into the metal, it won't rust. This is not a good question. Anyway, number 3, classify the following substance according to the type particle made up of either atom, molecule, ion. So iron sheet is made out of atom. Okay, iron sheet is made of atom, because it's just one single element, iron. Common salt, we already learned. Common salt is sodium chloride, so it is ion. Okay, ion. I just put the ion. Ice cube is made up from water. So what that water means? What? Water is molecule. Correct or not? Because water is a combination of different type of atom, H2O. So got 2 different type of atom, hydrogen, oxygen, and so it's molecule. Sugar, just in case you don't know, is C6H12O6. So it is also molecule. Okay, molecule. Marble is made up from sand, so it's a ion. This one actually I'm not sure, but I know the answer is ion. Let's just write ion. Copper, obviously copper is just copper, like a metal, a single element, So we just say atom. Copper is the thing that you use to make your electric wire. If you open your wire, you take out the metal come out, that is copper, shining. It's expensive, so that is why people want to steal the wire. If you know you want to buy wire, it's expensive because of the copper. You go to DIY, DIY also didn't sell. You need to go to the hardware shop. 1 meter I think is, I also don't know, 3 ringgit depending on how thick you want. So if you want 10 meter, is 10 meter wire is 30 ringgit. I think maybe 5 ringgit or 1 meter. Lime water, again, lime water got H2O. So lime water is ion. Okay. Oh, lime water, this one also I confused. I thought the lime water that we drink, the lime water that we drink. Oh, but this question is not talking about the lime water. This question is talking about the lime water that we do in the experiment. You know, the lime water experiment, we want to use to test carbon dioxide. So we put in the lime water, and the water will become milky. So it is to test the presence of carbon dioxide. So lime water, just in case if you don't know, lime water is calcium carbonate. The equation is calcium carbonate. So got calcium and carbonate. So there are two different elements with different charges. So it's called the ion. Oxygen, I think we already learned. Oxygen is molecule because 2 atoms combine. Okay, 2 atoms combine. And then helium gas is again a molecule because helium is He. Okay, helium gas is H2 is hydrogen. Anyway, I forgot already the word helium. Let's see helium. Helium is what already? I forgot already. He, right? Now up there. Maybe I down here. Let's go with He. He2. Hydrogen is hydrogen gas H2. Helium gas He2. So it's still the same thing. 2 atoms combine, so it's a molecule. Give 2 examples of elements that exist in the form of molecule and atom. 2 different elements that exist in the terms of molecule and atom. So of course this one is we can have many example. Any example will do. Let's see, we use for example, but we cannot use oxygen. Well, oxygen is molecule, but we seldom see oxygen as a single element. So molecule. So maybe we can say, for example, like carbon. Okay, carbon, the one that we use in the pencil, or carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide is gas. So carbon is the atom that we use. Carbon dioxide is the molecule. Or we can use sulfur. Sulfur is the powder, the sulfur powder. Use what? Maybe use in your science lab. You want to burn the sulfur, and then we also can get sulfur dioxide. Or maybe we can use magnesium powder. Anything in your science lab got powder can already. So I remember science lab got magnesium powder. You also can make it to plus in oxygen, magnesium oxide. If you still remember the experiment, I don't know whether you got done before. So magnesium can become magnesium oxide. Magnesium is the atom, magnesium oxide is the molecule. We also have potassium oxide, or like that lah. A few more example. Okay, okay. Then we continue another 5 minutes lah. Please bear with me for a while. 5 more minutes. Then we take a short break. Okay. this is the periodic table that we can find in the world. Periodic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 7 period and there are 18 group. So this one you need to remember. It's not 19 group. It is not 5 period. It is usually go down the 7 period and 18 group, and each group got a different style. Let's see here got or not. Later I teach, but it's not coming up for exam. Use of isotope. Okay, here didn't say. Didn't say. Okay, so, but that is the way that we see the element. We want to categorize the element. The person that found this is very clever. I don't know. I think he found this in a train or something like that when he think this idea. Then last time when they think, he just find like maybe 1, 2, 3, something like that only. And then he say other is still empty, need to fill up. Then of course people scold him, you stupid lah. You, what are you talking about? Got proton and all the empty thing. You think you are very clever, is it? But eventually, I think it's a Russian guy. Then eventually after that, if this thing is correct, it's considered correct and true until we use for today. So yeah, the person that make this table is very clever, because the one that make it, there is not even computer. So even without computer, he can make this table. So I think he's very smart. I don't know how you want to find out this thing without computer, but he's the one that find it. The scientist from the past, last time in the train, something like that. I forgot the story. Interesting story. If you want, you can go and find it out. Where was I? Yeah, of course, just a little bit. This is called alkaline metal. This is called gas. So that is why we usually say group 18 is a gas. Helium gas, neon gas, argon gas. And then group 17 is the halogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, all the din. And you can notice that usually the din, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, sometimes they put in the water. Alkaline metal is usually can burn one, can make bomb. Or hydrogen is not metal. Hydrogen is the special one. Lithium, sodium, potassium. I think this one is rubidium, calcium, francium. So this one can burn little bit, burn more. This is burn a lot. If you can get francium, I will call the police, because francium is highly explosive and you can make bomb. Just like if you use francium, just like very small amount only, just like this little bit amount of francium, that's like this little bit, I can put in the water. I will blow up a car. The whole car will disappear just by this little bit francium. So if you want to know, you can see in the YouTube, because I go YouTube, I search the lithium, sodium, potassium experiment. And last he used calcium. Calcium is a lot. Francium is even more dangerous. So as you go down more. So there are many things. There's a rough thing that we know. Okay, so if nothing, we're going to take a short break, and I see you back by 9:15. Okay.